Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Amrit Pal Singh. Coming up in the next 30 minutes, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi shares his thoughts in his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat. Says youngsters without political background entering politics will strengthen democracy. Stresses on the importance of startups in space sector. Israel declares emergency situation for the next 48 hours, launches preemptive strikes inside Lebanon. Hezbollah retaliates by launching hundreds of rockets and drones. Islamic State claims responsibility of the Friday knife attack in Solingen, a German city. The German police arrests 2 key suspects. An American space agency, NASA, astronauts stuck in orbit to return with SpaceX crew in February next year. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared his thoughts in the 113th episode of his monthly radio program Mann Ki Baat on Sunday. The Prime Minister spoke about a number of issues starting from space to politics to animal-human bonding. The Prime Minister urged the youth to connect with the political system.
इस साल मैंने लाल किले से बिना पॉलिटिकल बैकग्राउंड वाले 1 लाख युवाओं को पॉलिटिकल सिस्टम से जोड़ने का आह्वान किया है। मेरी इस बात पर जबरदस्त प्रतिक्रिया हुई है। इससे पता चलता है कि कितनी बड़ी संख्या में हमारे युवा राजनीति में आने को तैयार बैठे हैं। बस उन्हें सही मौके और सही मार्गदर्शन की तलाश है।
Giving topmost priority to children's nutrition, Prime Minister urged the entire nation to focus on nutrition throughout the year and celebrate it for a month.
हमारा परिवार, हमारा समाज और हमारा देश और इन सब का भविष्य हमारे बच्चों की सेहत पर निर्भर है और बच्चों की अच्छी सेहत के लिए जरूरी है कि उन्हें सही पोषण मिलता रहे। बच्चों का न्यूट्रिशन देश की प्राथमिकता है। वैसे तो उनके पोषण पर पूरे साल हमारा ध्यान रहता है, लेकिन 1 महीना देश इस पर विशेष फोकस करता है। इसके लिए हर साल 1 सितंबर से 30 सितंबर के बीच पोषण माह मनाया जाता है। पिछले वर्ष पोषण अभियान को नई शिक्षा नीति से भी जोड़ा गया है। पोषण भी, पढ़ाई भी। इस अभियान के द्वारा बच्चों के संतुलित विकास पर फोकस किया गया है।
Prime Minister Modi also spoke about the maiden National Space Day that was celebrated on August 23rd to mark the soft landing of Vikram lander at the Shiv Shakti point on the southern part of the moon.
21वीं सदी के भारत में कितना ही कुछ ऐसा हो रहा है जो विकसित भारत की नींव मजबूत कर रहा है। जैसे इस 23 अगस्त को ही हम सब देशवासियों ने पहला नेशनल स्पेस डे मनाया। मुझे विश्वास है कि आप सबने इस दिन को सेलिब्रेट किया होगा। एक बार फिर चंद्रयान 3 की सफलता का जश्न मनाया होगा। पिछले वर्ष इसी दिन चंद्रयान 3 ने चांद के दक्षिणी हिस्से में शिव शक्ति पॉइंट पर सफलतापूर्वक लैंडिंग की थी। भारत इस गौरवपूर्ण उपलब्धि को हासिल करने वाला दुनिया का पहला देश बना।
And the Prime Minister is currently in Jalgaon in the central Indian state of Maharashtra. The Prime Minister took part in Lakpati Didi conference and later distributed certificates to 1.1 million new Lakpati Didis. He also released fresh funds for women entrepreneurs. The scheme aims to provide financial assistance to women entrepreneurs and help them achieve financial independence. Lakpati Didis are those who earn 100,000 rupees or more annually. The Prime Minister also interacted with the beneficiaries of the scheme from across the country. Meanwhile, the women are excited for the Lakpati Didi Sammelan in Jalgaon.
हमको लखपति दीदी में होने में बहुत गर्व है और मोदी जी कर रहे हैं, महिलाओं के लिए बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं।
मोदी जी का सपना था कि मेरे स्वयं सहायता समूह के महिला लखपति होने चाहिए, तो सब लखपति दीदी हमारे समूह में है।
हम लोग लखपति दीदी बन गई है, तो इसलिए हम सरकार को धन्यवाद देते हैं, मोदी जी को धन्यवाद देते हैं।
मैं लखपति दीदी बन के मोदी साहब को धन्यवाद करूँ।
और जैसे कि हमारे मोदी जी का सपना है विकसित भारत 2047 तक बनाने का, तो हमारा भी सपना है कि हमारी कंपनी में 5000 फार्मर्स जुड़े और सभी लखपति हुए।
हमने अपनी जैसी कई महिलाओं को भी लखपति दीदी बनाया है। आज हम पैसे कमा सकते हैं, हम खुद आत्मनिर्भर हैं। मोदी है वो मुमकिन है।
India's Earth Sciences Minister Dr. Jitendra Singh chaired a pivotal bilateral meeting on US-India civil nuclear commerce, highlighting the deepening cooperation between the two nations in critical areas of science, technology and clean energy in New Delhi. Dr. Singh announced that an Indian astronaut from Gaganyaan mission is set to join the International Space Station, marking a significant milestone in Indo-US space collaboration. He emphasized the importance of this partnership in securing global supply chains, especially in sectors like semiconductors, pharmaceuticals and clean energy technologies, which are increasingly vital in today's interconnected world. Okay, on Sunday, the Hezbollah retaliated against Israel by launching hundreds of rockets and drones following the assassination of their senior commander in Beirut last month. The group claimed to have fired over 320 Katyusha rockets, hitting 11 military targets in Israel. This attack marked the beginning of their response, with more actions expected in the near future. In preparations for the assault, Israeli jets had already struck targets inside Lebanon. Meanwhile, Lebanon's health ministry said there were 3 who were killed in the Israeli strikes in the country's south after Israel launched strikes against Hezbollah. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu declared that the country would take all necessary measures to protect itself.
Early in the morning, we identified Hezbollah's preparations to attack Israel in consultation with the Minister of Defense and the Chief of Staff. We instructed the IDF to act proactively to remove the threat. The IDF has since been working vigorously to thwart the threats. It destroyed thousands of rockets aimed at the north of the country. It also thwarts many other threats and operates with great power both in defense and attack. I ask you, citizens of Israel, to follow the directives of the Home Front Command. We are determined to do everything possible to protect our country, to return the residents of the north safely to their homes, and to continue to uphold a simple rule: whoever harms us, we harm him.
And Israel's Defense Minister Yoav Gallant on Sunday announced a 48-hour nationwide emergency situation from Sunday 6 a.m. local time after the Israeli military launched preemptive strikes in Lebanon. The emergency enables the IDF to issue instructions to citizens of Israel, including limiting gatherings and closing sites where it may be relevant. Israel on Sunday warned that Hezbollah's actions towards Israeli territory could lead to a wider regional escalation. The Israeli military said that it was striking Hezbollah targets in Lebanon in self-defense after identifying the group was preparing to launch their attacks on Israeli civilians.
we can see that Hezbollah is preparing to launch an extensive attack on Israel, while endangering the Lebanese civilians. We warn the civilians located in the areas where Hezbollah is operating to move out of harm's way immediately for their own safety. Hezbollah's ongoing aggression risks dragging the people of Lebanon, the people of Israel, and the whole region into a wider escalation.
The military also warned that residents should immediately leave areas where Hezbollah was operating, with air alert sirens sounding across the country's north.
The IDF is striking terror targets in Lebanon, from which Hezbollah was planning to launch their attacks on Israeli civilians. This follows more than 6,700 rockets, missiles, and explosive UAVs fired by Hezbollah at Israeli families, homes, and communities since October 8th.
As emergency situation is declared in Israel, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant attended a meeting of the command center in Tel Aviv. Israeli Prime Minister's office said that they were assessing the situation, and the Prime Minister will convene the Security Cabinet shortly. Meanwhile, the Defense Ministry said that Gallant briefed US counterpart Lloyd Austin on the overall situation, asserting that Israel was determined to use all means at its disposal to defend its citizens. US Secretary of Defense assured all help to Israel to address its security threat. The two leaders also discussed the importance of avoiding regional escalation. Next meeting on ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas will take place in Cairo today evening. United States President Joe Biden has indicated that the talks between Israel and Hamas are taking place in Cairo went well on Saturday. And Cairo is preparing on Sunday to host a high-level meeting in the evening of the officials from Egypt, the United States, Qatar, Israel and Hamas, with the aim of reaching an agreement to stop the Israeli war on Gaza and complete the exchange of detainees and prisoners. On Saturday, they had one round of discussions to bridge gaps between responding to questions by reporters on the status of Gaza truce talks. Biden gave a thumbs up. In the latest from Russia-Ukraine conflict, Moscow launched several missiles and drones overnight sutargeting northern and eastern Ukraine as per Kiev's military. The attack targeted Ukraine's frontline regions of Chernihiv, Sumy, Kharkiv and Donetsk. Meanwhile, 5 people died and 12 others were injured after Ukraine shelled the town in Russia's Belgorod region. Speaking at a joint press conference with Poland and Lithuania's leaders, Ukrainian president said that the Kursk operation is part of a preventive move to stop Russian plans to capture the northern city of Sumy.
It was a preventive blow and our operation fulfilled this task. We prevented encircling of Sumy region and the desire to occupy the region's capital, the city of Sumy.
And my colleague Dasha Chova joins us for more from Moscow. Dasha, the offensive and counter-offensive strikes continue from both sides. Bring us up to speed on what the latest situation on ground is.
Well, indeed, we understand Moscow continues to what it says squeeze the Ukrainian troops out from its Kursk region, where this incursion has been lasting for almost 3 weeks now. The understanding at this moment, according to the latest statement by the Russian Ministry of Defense, is that the Kursk grouping of forces that has recently been established to defend the Kursk border region has received additional supplies of missiles and artillery at the request of the operative headquarters of these troops in the Kursk region. There have been the total of 29 requests, according to MOD. 17 have already been met. We also have heard that there have been no requests for additional ammunition from the Belgorod and Bryansk groupings of forces. So the process of Russia squeezing the Ukrainian troops out from the Kursk region is ongoing. We also understand that while those efforts are taking place, many residents have been forced to leave their houses, and they have many concerns with regards to how they are going to move forward with their lives. Even though they have been provided with the substitute for accommodation, many have left to their relatives in other regions of the country. They have concerns about how their livelihoods have been left, their houses, their households, as well as their personal belongings, because many children are starting their school year next week, and they have questions how they are going to do that. Meanwhile, we're also hearing that there are air raid sirens that are ongoing in the city of Kursk, for instance, and other regions of and other districts of this region. The concrete shelters have been installed in the city of Kursk and two other cities of this region to protect the civilian population from the constant Ukrainian attacks. As in Belgorod, for instance, we've heard just this morning about the death of 5 civilians as a result of a Ukrainian attack against the settlement there. So certainly this is an ongoing process. Meanwhile, we are hearing that the Russian Ministry of Defense has been advancing on the front lines in the Donetsk direction and saying that despite this ongoing incursion, they are still making gains elsewhere in the area of what Moscow calls its special military operation in Ukraine.
Dasha Chova, many thanks for joining us and giving us that update from Moscow. And still to come up on this edition of DD India Live, Telegram CEO Pavel Durov arrested at an airport in France. Holy cities of Mathura and Vrindavan in northern India decked up for Janmashtami celebrations. 2024 Paralympics torch relay lit and flagged off from Stoke Mandeville in England.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Amrit Pal Singh. A man suspected of stabbing a rampage in western German town of Solingen has been taken into police custody on Saturday after the attack that killed 3 people. North Rhine-Westphalia's Interior Minister Herbert Raul said that authorities spent the day following a hot lead that led to the arrest. The man is said to be affiliated with a home for refugees that had been searched earlier in the day. Raul added that a manhunt was conducted after the attack, making 2 arrests that were likely not the perpetrator. Earlier, the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for the attack that occurred in Fraunhof, a market square in Solingen, during a festival marking the city's 650th anniversary. The attack also wounded 8 people. 2 NASA astronauts, Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore, will now return to Earth on a SpaceX vehicle in February next year. The pair, who rode on Boeing's Starliner spacecraft to the International Space Station in June, were expected to be on the 8-day test mission but have been stuck for months because of problems with the Starliner spacecraft. The spacecraft faced problems including helium leaks and malfunctioning thrusters on its way to the space station. The agency therefore took the rare decision of reshuffling the 2 astronauts to a SpaceX mission and returning the Starliner empty. NASA Chief Bill Nelson said that the decision was taken for the safety of its crew.
space flight is risky, even at its safest, and even at its most routine. And a test flight by nature is neither safe nor routine. And so the decision to keep Butch and Sonny aboard the International Space Station and bring the Boeing Starliner home uncrewed is a result of a commitment to safety. Our core value is safety, and it is our North Star.
And let's now take a look at other stories making news around the world. Telegram CEO Pavel Durov was arrested at the Beaugay airport near Paris on Saturday evening. Officials said that the 39-year-old had been arrested under a warrant for offences related to the popular messaging app Telegram. As per TASS, a state news agency of Russia, the Russian embassy in France is taking immediate steps to clarify the situation. The confirmed death toll increased to 13 following a landslide in Phuket on Friday. Search and rescue operations have been concluded and will be followed by a major cleanup, with recovery efforts expected to continue for another 2 or 3 days. The provincial governor of Phuket said that 19 people were injured and 209 households affected due to landslide. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh visited the Naval Surface Warfare Centre of Carter Rock and witnessed the path-breaking experiments at his facility on his ongoing 4-day visit to the United States. Rajnath Singh said that India and the US look forward to working together and benefiting from each other's experiences. Foreign Affairs Minister of Brazil, Mauro Vieira, will arrive in New Delhi on Sunday on a 4-day visit. India's External Affairs Minister, Dr. S. Jaishankar, and his Brazilian counterpart will co-chair the 9th India-Brazil Joint Commission meeting on Tuesday. The ministers will also discuss how the two countries as a troika can advance the key G20 outcomes from the Indian presidency last year. Brazilian Foreign Minister's state visit will provide an opportunity to further strengthen the strategic partnership and explore newer areas of cooperation in bilateral, regional and mutual arenas across diverse sectors. India's Minister of State for External Affairs and Textiles, Pavitra Margarita, will be visiting the Kingdom of Tonga from 28th to 29th of August. She will be participating in the Pacific Islands Forum Leaders Meeting with dialogue partners, which is being held as part of the 53rd Pacific Islands Forum and related meetings. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal visited the Institute of Technical Education headquarters at ITE College, Central Singapore. The ministers looking at a tour of various training facilities, including aerospace and smart manufacturing hubs. He also explored how India and Singapore can collaborate in investment and innovation in education and skill development for the youth to meet the diverse needs and interests of various industries. India's northeastern state of Tripura, the flood situation is slightly improved on Sunday, with rivers flowing above the danger mark levels and receding and aiding in relief and rescue operations. Since morning, heavy rainfall prediction by the IMD has not been much shower in any part of the state. Meanwhile, an all-party meeting to discuss the flood situation was held in Agartala on Saturday under the chairmanship of Chief Minister Manik Saha. Leaders across party lines attended the meeting that deliberated on areas to be taken to provide relief to the people affected and by the floods. Talking to reporters, the Chief Minister said that as many preliminary estimates, the state has suffered a loss more than 15 crore. Let's now take a look at other news stories making the news today. The Unified Pension Scheme, which aims to provide assured pension, family pension and assured minimum approved pension, has been approved by the Union Cabinet. The new Unified Pension Scheme is going to benefit 23 lakh central government employees. This will be effective from the April 1st to 2025. And the All India Railwaymen Federation General Secretary Shiv Gopal Mishra has welcomed the move and thanked Prime Minister Modi. Janmashtami is around the corner, and holy cities of Mathura and Vrindavan are gearing up for the unforgettable celebrations. It is celebrated to honor the birth of Lord Krishna, the revealed 8th incarnation of Lord Vishnu. While this festival is joyously observed across the globe, the celebrations in Mathura and Vrindavan hold special charm, as the two holy cities are deeply intertwined with the life, birth and early life of Krishna. The 2024 Paralympics torch relay started on Saturday from Stoke Mandeville in England, where the event was first imagined by neurologist Ludwig Guttmann in 1948 actually. British Paralympians Helen Ryan Sword and Gregor Ivan, it was the Olympic flame, and the torch passing it on to the bearer for the first leg. The torch will then be carried by 24 European athletes who will take over the journey to Khalaiso and where further to Paris, where it will be used for light the Paralympics caution during the opening ceremony on Wednesday. And that's it then in this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest updates from India and across the world on DD India's mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code you see on your screens right now to download. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Amrit Pal Singh from my entire team in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India Live.